Hi, how are you? I'm doing fine. Well, I remember the last time that we sat down together. Let me review just a couple of things. Uh, and maybe you can help me remember some of the things that we discussed and the reasons why we met. Well, my mom had just recently had heart surgery and she had been at the hospital, and I had moved and I was driving back and forth trying to take care of my parents and missing a lot of work. And my boss was getting a little frustrated with me, a little fed up with me, and he was considering letting me go. That's right, I do remember you mentioning that. I just felt overwhelmed. I felt like I wanted to, focus on my family, yet I needed to focus on my new job. Well, I also remember the last time that we sat down, we talked about some homework, some things that you were going to work on as far as finding some resources to help you out a little bit, to relieve some of that stress out of this situation. Well, I did make some phone calls. I discussed some things with my parents, some options about maybe some possible family members to help out, and I have an aunt that's relatively close by. My parents live in the country, and so it's just really difficult for people to get out there. It's a couple of hours away from some other family members, and it's not close to a major city. Even it's an hour from the doctors for them to go back and forth to the doctor even. And so discussing it with my parents, I contacted my aunt who said that she could help out a little bit, and it's a bit of a drive for her, but that relieves some of the burden from me. And I even called. I find myself still a little bit burdened about it because I'm calling my aunt to check up on her to see if she's, helping my parents and taking them to their appointments. And I remember that we also discussed that the doctor could write me a note to give to my boss so that he would realize what I was doing and that I was helping my parents. And so after giving that letter from the doctor to my boss, he seemed to be a little bit better about the travel that I make. And so that's helped out a little bit. Well, before we move on, did I go over your patient rights? Do I need to go over those one more time? I think you've covered those already. Well, I just want you to know again that you can leave at any time. It's your right to leave at any time. And you're also familiar with your HIPAA rights? I am. I do. I have the right, if I feel threatened or in any way, or if I feel suicidal, that you will report that. You'll have to, report that to the police. I understand my HIPAA rights. And the police also have the same authority, so that you know that. Okay, perfect. Well, I just wanted to go over that one more time just to be sure. And it sounds like you're making pretty good progress in the things that we discussed the last time. But I know that, do you feel like you might be pestering your aunt a little bit, by calling her often? How do we think that we can relieve some of that? We don't want you to be stressed about that. I guess I just need to work on being more confident in trusting my aunt to do what's best for my parents, and that, if there's somebody that could help cover some things, and I don't know if my parents would ever be willing to move closer to the city where they could get better help. I'm just not really sure. I know that it would be nice if they moved closer to, healthcare and doctors, so that they could make those appointments easier. And I don't know if that would be too big of a lifestyle change on them, because they live in the country. They're not used to living near the city. I don't know. I worry about that too. I worry that, that they won't accept that very well. And I guess I'll just have to look at that situation. Do you feel like you might have a little trust issues? I don't know. Not really had a lot of dealings with my aunt, so I don't know her well enough to say that I completely trust her 100% to know what's best for my parents. We just haven't visited with her that much, and so do I trust that she's taking care of them like I could? Is she visiting with them? I mean, I'm not there to see what she's doing, and so I don't know. I just feel like I need to remind her and make sure she's keeping up with them. Well, I'd like to come up with some thoughts and goals that would just, set your mind at ease, something that would help you feel a little bit better. I'm glad that you got that resource. That's a great resource for now, being able to use your aunt. But what if she gets sick, or if she has to be somewhere? Maybe we would need to think about a backup plan just in case. Maybe you should have that in place as well. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'd have to see. I could also look into home health care, or maybe some nurses that could help us. I don't know about the cost on that, or insurance coverage, or the commitment that it would take. If my aunt had to go somewhere, had to be somewhere, could a nurse come by the house, or someone else come and take care of them? And, I don't know if I wouldn't want to put them in a nursing home or anything like that where it was full time. I just think my parents would be too frustrated with that. But, or if there was a way that, well, maybe I can help you with that. If you were willing to maybe give me the name of the hometown where your parents are, and I can get in contact with some professionals in the area, and we can look at resources and some phone numbers, and I can help you with that. Okay, thank you. That'll be perfect. I can do a little bit of research and see what we can find in the area, some help, to get some help for you. Maybe that'll help you feel a little bit better. And I realize that, the insurance and other, even for my services, there would be insurance issues and whatnot. And so it's always very sticky when it comes to insurance and talking with the insurance. So you have to be pretty careful with that. Insurance companies, we have to check with their insurance company to make sure that things are covered and all of those things. But that's a good thing. Okay. Well, we definitely have some thoughts. I'm going to research your parents' hometown to find out what resources are near them. Sounds like they live, you've got a lot of relatives that live pretty far away, but I appreciate you giving me their information, and I'm going to try to help you out with that. But what kind of work do you want to work on for the next session? I'd like to call the insurance company to see what's covered, to see what kind of home health care in that area could be done for my parents, especially with their limited budget. And is it a weekly basis that they could come out or whatever? So I'll find out some of those details and see if they'll take our insurance, and just to find out what's best for my parents. That'll give me peace of mind to know that that they're taken care of, they're in good hands, and I can focus on my job and focus on my new life here in this town. Well, sounds like a very good plan. I really appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much for all your help. I appreciate it. Thanks for the counsel. No problem. That's what I'm here for. Thank you.